Hi, I'm streaming from the studio, and I'm on the Adorama Twitch channel. I make great content, guys. All right, so I don't know what we are gonna do. I mean, the purpose of this is usually to, talk about YouTube stuff and like what I do. I should probably introduce myself to anybody who's here that is not from my stream. I'm Bob. Hi. I make YouTube videos on youtube.com/wolfden. It's spelt all weird. The videos are mostly about video game hardware, mostly Nintendo and retro stuff. And I like to do a lot of camera work. So that's me. I also stream on Twitch. Here I am. Hello. I posted a video today about this thing. It's the new N64 controller, the wireless one, but I put a new thumbstick in it. And in that video, there was an ad for Adorama. And now I'm here to talk to you about making YouTube videos. So the first, I've done this twice before. This is the third time I'm doing it. The first time I was on Adorama's Twitch, we talked about editing the video and I showed my Premiere project and everything. The second time I did like a little shooting demo. Now, I don't know. I have my MacBook here and it is, let me make sure there's nothing incriminating on here. Put on Do Not Disturb so nobody sends me anything weird. I just got this MacBook. This is the brand new fancy one. I love it. So I have this hooked up and I can do like, I can do that. Hey, look at that. So yeah, I can like, I don't know, show you like editing stuff on here on my laptop. Could you show your thumbnail making process? Which photos you prepare, what assets you choose? Great question. So usually the thumbnail, so some people I know will come up with the title and thumbnail of the video first. I think it's a good idea to have a general idea of what the title or thumbnail will be. I am bad and I usually do that dead last. Again, I usually have a general idea of what the title is going to be, but the thumbnail, a lot of times I come up with a thumbnail last minute. I should have a general idea of that from the beginning, and I kind of did for this video. So yeah, most of the time I shoot everything because another thing is like you don't know, like things could change, especially for like this. I figured out how to get this thumbstick in here at the last second. This was almost a completely different video until the last second. So the thumbnail was almost going to be something completely different, but I had a general idea of what I wanted the thumbnail to be if I was able to get this thumbstick in here. So we shot everything, and then I shot the thumbnail. So let me get my hard drive. I have this little SanDisk drive. It's been cool because like I have like an assistant editor. I set up projects on here and then I back it up to my big fat G drive and then I just give him this and then I can continue working on it off of my G drive and then he just hands this back to me and it's great. Here's my hard drive, Wulff videos, and then here's like I do it by date because I upload basically every Thursday. So yeah, I have them all in date order. And then the video files are just thrown in here because we do things fast, you know? They're kind of sequential also. And at the bottom right here you can see all the thumbnails. So I shoot a RAW and a JPEG because JPEGs are just easier to preview. But look at that. My old MacBook I don't think could preview RAWs, but this is previewing it just fine. So here's a bunch of the thumbnails I shot. This one's pretty good. This one's all right. I think I knew this was going to be the one that I would want. I was trying to get one of me like pointing at the thumbstick and it wasn't working. But yeah, I like this one because my idea was I wanted to have some space in the corner to put like a thumbstick so I can show like this is the important thing. I didn't want to put a big red arrow like that's like the trope of YouTube thumbnails. So that was the idea. And I liked having the background as the Mario 64 loading screen. The background is pretty important. On a lot of my thumbnails, I like having like bright, colorful backgrounds. I try to make it look as realistic as possible, but for thumbnails, you have to go a little over the top because you want people to click on it. You'll see a lot of like edited stuff in the background. Like I like to use this light burst. I just go to Google and I type in like light burst and there's all these. And I just grab one. I mean, you got to find one that doesn't say like Shutterstock. But I'll grab one of these and paste it in there. If it has like a black background like this one, I've used this one before. Where have I used that one? I know I've used it. I just like it because it makes it look like, hey, look at this thing. Like this thing's important. There's light coming from behind it. It's so important. And it gives it a little pop. It like makes it pop off the background a little bit. That's it. This background is that. It's the same thing. This is one of my favorite thumbnails. This video did terrible, but this was a good one. Yeah, a lot of times I'll like mask out the product or whatever it is. Like here, I mask that out. Sometimes I'll darken the background or brighten it depending on how I want the contrast because again it has to pop off the background. I'll open up my thumbnail project and show you guys how I made it. This one was pretty simple. I didn't do too much crazy stuff. I like that your thumbnails are usually accurate and not clickbait BS that some people do. So I mean there are things that people do that generate clicks that are like kind of just YouTube best practices, like the mouth open. Oh my god, that's so crazy. I have some things like that. Like I have to scroll back a while. Oh, this one. This is a video I did with wood. Here I am. in the background with my mouth open. But I don't like being in the oh, I stole this idea from the guy from Tested. Oh, Will Smith from Tested. He has a picture of him with VR goggles, and he's got his mouth open. It's really funny, so I just stole that idea. But yeah, generally I don't like being in my thumbnails, but I like there to be some sort of human element. So I always try to take a picture with like me holding something or a hand in the shot in some way. Like even this picture, it's just like the Xbox controller is just like a still life. I should see if I can open that one up. That one was kind of a ridiculous shot because there's 4 controllers there. It looks like one controller, but it's 4 together. Yeah, so I always just like to have a little bit of human element. In this example, there's light coming from behind it. Sometimes both. Thumbnail. Here it is. Wow. Let me show you what it looked like first. This is the picture. It just came out of, I just throw it into this 1080p project. I use the same project for everything. This is how big it is. So really, it went into the project looking like this. And then I just cropped it. I have a grid, but I like don't really use it that much. I guess without realizing it, I kind of followed the grid a little bit. It's in the second and third quadrants. You got a little spacing here, a little spacing here. The A and B buttons are right on the second line. This grid is a little bit rule of thirds, and then I added a bunch of other stuff like the middle of the X and Y. I used to have like a template that had a bunch of stuff on the left side, so I had to have like lines to show me where center is versus that, but I don't do that anymore. So yeah, first things first, place the picture in here. And I used the raw picture. From there, the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to put in this picture of the thumbstick that I put in because I wanted to showcase like, this is the important thing that's different about this controller that you need to pay attention to. This is the thing. This is something that you've never seen before in this type of thumbstick. This is why you want to click on the video and learn more about what's going on. So what I did was I plopped this guy in, and I used to, like, you can do like the little magic wand tool and you can select it and you can delete it or whatever. But lately what I've been doing is I've just been going here and go to quick actions, remove background, and it does like 90% of the work for you. And this has been there for a while, and I just learned about this like freaking 2 weeks ago, and it freaking works awesome. And then you just go in and clean it up a little bit, you know. And I already did the work. This is like a cooking show where like the pizza's ready. Pizza's already done. So there it is. Here it is all cut out. But I want it in a circle. So I made a circle. And I wanted it cut out in the circle. So I went like this, and I made the circle into a mask, and I put it in a folder. So I put everything in the folder, and now everything in that folder is cut out in a circle because the mask is a circle. And I also wanted to pop off the background. So I added some adjustment layers. We have a curve to make it brighter, and I made it red instead of blue. Put some lines to be like, this is where it came from. If I was any other YouTuber, this would be a big fat red arrow like this. Like, look, this is the thing. This is the part. This is the part of the video that you care about. Look, wow, that's it. Whoa. And like, this would be just as effective, honestly. I just don't like the trope, and this feels more, it's not clickbait because I'm delivering on it. Like, this is the thing that you need to pay attention to. This is it. I'm pointing to it. This is it. Sometimes people just arbitrarily use red arrows. It works. People will click on the video, but they're going to get mad that they clicked on it for no reason. The red arrow lowers the quality of the thumbnail, honestly. That's what I'm trying to say, Benny, since too many people use it. That's what I'm trying to say. It felt like it would look better if I just did it like that. So that's how I did it. We weren't done yet. This is like 90% there, but we're not done yet. I wanted to make the background more blue. So what I did, well, I'll see if I can do this in, this will blow your freaking mind. Here you go. Check this out. You can't do the remove background on a smart object. I always try to make sure everything's a smart object so I can scale it without having to worry about it losing quality. You have to rasterize it if you're gonna do the remove background thing. But watch this. Remove background. Look at how good of a job it did. Now, it failed here, but still, I don't have to cut out the rest of it. I can just go in here and remove the rest of it myself. That's what I did. And again, this doesn't even have to be perfect because I'm just changing the color of the background. It's just, I'm not erasing everything. It's still gonna be there. So when we're done, it looks like this. And again, it's not perfect. Look at that. You can see all the little jaggies. It's gross. It's disgusting. Blah. But then you make a blue layer. This is just blue. It's just blue. You put the mask on it, and then you invert it, and now the background's more blue. And like, it's not perfect. No one's gonna zoom in on my thumbnail, you know? I could spend hours making this like the perfect thumbnail, but I don't got hours. I got an Adorama stream to do. So there you go. And this this looked like this at first, but I mean, obviously that's too harsh. I like to go through the blending modes and see which one works best for what I want. And for whatever reason, I'd landed on soft light, and this was at 82, just because it was a little too harsh. And there you go. Now we have a thumbnail. And I think this looks pretty natural. It's natural looking, because it is mostly natural. I just made the background more blue. It's natural looking with a little bit more pop thrown in. And that's like kind of the theme of what I want my thumbnails to be like. Do you ever use the thumbs up website to test the different sizes? No. You know what I do? Does that look good? Would I click on that? If I was standing over here and I saw that, would I click on that? Do I know what that is? Because it is a thumbnail. Like, that's another thing people get too hung up on. Like, the thumbnail can't have too much going on. It needs to be like one thing, and you need to immediately be able to recognize what it is at the blink of an eye, and it needs to grab your attention instantly. So the less, the better. It needs to be very simple, and whatever you put on it better be big, and you better be able to read it from far away. Now, some people put text in the thumbnails, and I don't like doing that because I think the thumbnail should speak for itself, but there's some science to that on the YouTube end. Google or YouTube will be able to pick out whatever is in the thumbnail. We can do that. We can give that a try. Google AI picture keyword vision AI. Is this it? You can run your thumbnail through. Try the API. Let's see if this is it. Also, there's like a YouTube thumbnail downloader. Here's what we're gonna do. So this says OLED. I put that in the thumbnail because you could barely tell that this is a different type of Nintendo Switch because I didn't get the white one, and I was this close to clickbaiting with the white one because it's so much easier to just to visually know like this is a different Switch because it's the white one. But I didn't have it at the time, and in the video I don't have it, so I didn't want to clickbait that hard. That would be like a little bit over the line of clickbait that I'm comfortable with. So I put OLED in the title. I mean, in the thumbnail. It's also in the title, but it's in the thumbnail. So this is cloud.google.com/vision. If you scroll down, you can try it out for yourself. And I'm going to go like that. So look, Google figured out handheld video game console. It's 78% handheld video game console. So I could have uploaded this video with no title at all, and YouTube would have known there's a Nintendo Switch in there. Also, labels. So it knows the tags. It could be a mobile phone. It could be a portable electronic gaming tablet, a telephony, handheld game console, a gadget, a communication device, a mobile device. So if you're Googling these things, this video might come up. Font, finger, like it knows what's there. Logos, Nintendo. It knows that's Nintendo's logo. Text, this is important. OLED. And it even finds text that I don't even remember being there. Friggin' Nintendo. I forgot that the word Nintendo is in the logo. So again, if I didn't put anything in the title at all, YouTube knows this is the OLED Nintendo Switch because it's in the thumbnail. So what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of people that use text in the thumbnails. I don't like doing it because I think the thumbnail should speak for itself and you should be able to know what it is without having to read it. But there's something to putting things in the thumbnail that you don't say in the title. It still counts towards the algorithm. Do you understand? I'm making sense. Is anybody sleeping? Wake up. Oh my God, Bob, the camera is such good quality. Thank you. This is the thing. This is the camera I film everything with. This is my EOS R. I would like to do more streams here at the studio, but we got to figure out a more permanent setup. This is a very, hacked together situation right now. I say hacked together, but this is all like really expensive equipment. It's just, we literally threw it together like an hour ago. 2 hours ago? 3 hours ago? Focus! So that's what Canon's like thing. Like you have to yell at it sometimes to get it focused. It's like audio activated, and it's very sensitive to emotions. I want to make this about thumbnails. I think I'm gonna spend 2 hours talking about thumbnails. They're very important. Titles and thumbnails are very important for a YouTube video. Who uses a lot of text in their thumbnails? Wood. Wood puts himself in every thumbnail but like that's not a narcissism thing. It's a brand thing. Like if he doesn't put himself in the thumbnail, nobody knows it's a beat 'em ups video. Like his brand is that big that his face in the thumbnail generates clicks. I don't want that for myself. I'd rather you click for the thing and not for me. I mean, I want you to click for me to some extent, but that makes me feel weird. It makes me feel weird. I'd rather just not be in the thumbnail. So anyway, here's this thumbnail. So we're gonna bring it back into this visions thing. It knows it's a face and he's surprised. So again, this is what YouTube is reading. YouTube is reading this and being like, this is all the stuff we know about this thumbnail. Objects, packed goods, person, product, beard, font, gesture, gadget, facial hair, logo, Logos, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch. Text, big problem. What's this one? 0. This is 0. Metroid Dread. Look at how tiny Metroid Dread is in this picture. It's so tiny, and it read that. So one of the tags is gonna be Metroid Dread. And it read OLED all the way at the bottom. Dominant colors. Safe search. Adult. Spoof. Medical. Violence. Racy. Oh, unlikely. Spoof is possible. I don't know what freaking spoof means. Medical. Very unlikely. 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 You know what? This is a good test. This video performed terribly. Did they think something was racy in the thumbnail? Banana. 91% banana. They're 91% sure that's a banana. How many people here are 91% sure that's a banana? I'm about 85% sure that's a banana. And I took the picture. Banana. Cooking plantain. Saba banana. Communication device. Hello? It read the text on the PCB here. Adult. Unlikely. Spoof. Very unlikely. Yo, this is less racy than Woods. Crazy. Let's look at another thumbnail. When was this posted? July 15th. I'm gonna plug in my other hard drive. I save all my thumbnails for just in case I need to do this. It didn't know the Switch. If I scrolled down more, it probably would have said mobile device, but I don't think it would have known that it was a gaming device. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe my biggest problem was that it didn't know there was a gaming device in the thumbnail. What video are you most proud of the thumbnail for? I'll show you. That's a really tall ask, but I'll show you one that this one I'm pretty proud of. I'll show you that one. But I'll also show you this one. So how did this start off? You know, let's look at our pictures. Here's the pictures I took for the thumbnail. That looks like I composited that on there, but no, that's really how the monitor looks. That is exposed perfectly. That never happens with the screen. That looks great. Did I leave it like that? No. I think I composited on a PlayStation because nobody wants to click on Xbox stuff. I love Xbox stuff, but people want freaking PlayStation stuff. Oh, did you do this one yourself? Oh my God, I forgot. Hannah helped me with this one. Oh, this will be fun. This will be fun to go through. Watch this. Okay. I completely forgot how this went. There's a lot here, so this is gonna be hard to go through all at once. This is what it looks like originally. We have to, so I gave this to Hannah, small dog mom in the chat, and she removed all of the wires. I was like, clean up the wires. And look at that. Look at the phenomenal job she did. You can ask her how she did it. If I were to do that, I would have used like the clone stamp tool and maybe do, on top of that, do like the spot healing brush or like a lasso and a content aware fill. Or sometimes I would just use a paintbrush and just paint over it. But I'm not a professional at that, and she is. So she did a great job. And then from there, I used one of my favorite tricks. This might be a lens flare effect. Oh yeah, this is a freaking anamorphic lens flare. So you just literally go into Google Images and type in lens flare, and here we are. We got a lens. We got ourselves a lens flare. It's a little harsh, but whatever. Oh, I lowered it with the adjustment layer. So yeah, I made it less harsh with the adjustment layer. Again, this is a screen layer, so the black is transparent. And then I used a shape layer to because it was just easy for the screen because it's a rectangle, so it's a perfect rectangle. So I just put. I think I took a screenshot of a PlayStation 5 boot up because this is pretty recognizable, especially out of like the corner of your eye when you're scrolling through YouTube. Yeah, I just made it a clipping mask and put it right over it because that was just the easiest thing to do. I didn't need to do a shape layer, but it was easier because now I can do dumb stuff like this. I can go, whoa, like, look, I want to make it bigger. And because it's on a clipping mask with the shape layer, it will never go out of those bounds. And this is one of those thumbnails where I decided it needed some text. So I put the text there, and then I added the dotted line. It's very simple. I don't know if I use the pen tool, the line tool, but you can literally just use the line tool and you just do that. And you can go up here and you can make it dotted, make it freaking like 10. I remember this being a pain in the ass. I remember this was hard to do. I think what I ended up doing was probably just using the pen tool. That way you can just make one line. Beep, boop. There you go. Pen tool does a better job. And then you just do one over here. Beep. And there you go. This is the one that I did. And then that's it. That's the whole thumbnail. I wanted to, so for this one, I could have done it without any of this jargon, but I wanted to show the important thing of this video was that the monitor was 4K 120 hertz. That's the impressive part. So I had to put that in. And I don't know why I decided the lines were important. Again, I could have put a big red arrow, but I decided the lines were probably a little better. Lens flare to hide the Xbox. That's not what I wanted to do that. Again, I like the Xbox. Got nothing against the Xbox. All right, let me see if I can find this other one. I want to show you this Xbox one because I thought this was pretty cool. All right, check this out. I'm pretty proud of this one. So this was a video where I got a bunch of controllers off of Xbox Design Lab. So I designed a bunch of controllers. I only did 3 of them. The white one is just from my Series S, I think. So what I did was I took a lot of pictures. Here's a bunch of ideas. I took a bunch for this because I wasn't, first of all, I knew the video wasn't going to do that good because it's an Xbox video, but it actually ended up doing pretty good. So I don't want to complain too much. I think Xbox and PlayStation videos, they just take a while to do good. So I think my first idea here was to, so this was just the easy one in case I ran out of time or didn't feel like finishing the thumbnail. This one I was going to Photoshop the other arms into it, and I might have started doing that. And then there was this one where it's kind of like a still life, but I freaking I just tried my best to make the controller in the exact same spot every time. You know what I think I did? I think I just, in the viewfinder of the camera, I hit like the media button to like look at what it looked like, and then I hit the viewfinder to see what the new controller looked like, and then I'd move it and then switch back and forth just to make sure, I was basically eyeballing to make sure that the controller was in the exact right spot. And then here we are. Oh, so here was option. I must have spent a really long time on this thumbnail. That controller in the thumbnail does not appear in the video. It is 4 controllers, my guy. I thought it was pretty obvious that this was 4 controllers. I don't think this was clickbait. I think it's obvious that this is photoshopped. Bob, a lot of your issues could be resolved with the green screen. What issues do you think I have? Will a green screen help me get up early in the morning? Will a green screen get me motivated to work out? Anyway. Where were we? So we had that one. We had that. Ooh. Oh, this one, I think I was trying to make it more obvious. Oh no, this was just a different angle. I was trying all different angles. And this one I wanted to do because this was like the 3 that I got from the design lab. And then this one, the white one was not from the design lab. So let's take a look at this folder here. This is gonna be a mess. Okay, so I remember, here's what the picture looks like. But I remember the first thing that I did was I made these lines. I was thinking of maybe doing something with that. I think, you know what? One of these other ones had something with that. Had some crazy like lines going on. Oh, here we go. I was trying to do a whole thing. I thought I had one that was like there we go. That's it. That's what I was thinking of. These looked kind of cool, but I thought this ended up being stronger anyway. So I made all these so that I can use these shape layers as masks, and I would apply them to each controller picture. So I just layered all the pictures on top of each other and hoped that they lined up, and for the most part they did. So here's a mask with one of those shape layers thrown in. Here's another one. This one I added my hand. I masked in my hand. You could see in the layers panel what the mask looks like. I can kind of highlight it. Yeah, so it cut around here. Actually, would this be easier? Yeah, there you go. So that's how it got cut. And then the final one, and this one got cut a little bit also. Looked like that. No, that's real messy. But I mean, you can't really tell because the rest of it's white anyway. But I didn't like the white. I wanted it to pop a little more. So I made it blue. There's a lot of blues in a lot of my videos and thumbnails. And I want it to be brighter. It's got to pop. It's a YouTube thumbnail. It's got to be, you know, I did a little curves adjustment and made it a little like slightly brighter. And that's that. And I thought that ended up looking really nice. But a lot of it again this is like 90% composition. The way it was framed and the way it was shot. I basically shot this and made the editing not so bad because of the way that I shot. So most of the work that was done here was done in camera. You should name your layers and group items more. Why? I'm looking at them. Also, I do when I'm doing this stuff, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and I want to go to bed. And I usually never look at them again. And there's so many folders here. What are you talking about? And if I name them, what am I going to name them? I'm going to name this one Hands Reaching to the Sky. Controller. I think it is very important to be organized. Like how I organize my files and stuff. But sometimes you got to cut some corners. Sometimes it's okay to be a little messy as long as you can get it done. As long as nobody else sees the mess. You can make it look great in front of the camera, behind the scenes. Huge mess. How long do you work on something like that? A thumbnail? It could go, I think you should spend at least 30 minutes on a thumbnail. And if you spend less than 30 minutes, you're not doing it right. Unless you're freaking, I don't know, a YouTuber that doesn't have to spend a lot of time on thumbnails. But for me, I spend anywhere between 20 minutes and like an hour, sometimes 2. I spent like 3 hours on the Wulff podcast thumbnail the other day. And there was no reason for that. I know I just said, if you don't spend more than 30 minutes on a thumbnail, you're doing it wrong. I sometimes do it wrong and spend 20 minutes. I used to be a graphic designer. That's why I'm like anal about this stuff. What's your most clickbait thumbnail? Probably, so I think it's this one just because my like mouth is open, but there's nothing clickbait here. This is delivered in the video. My headcanon definition of clickbait is like a bait and switch. Like you're baiting somebody to click on it and then you don't deliver on what's in the video. So I don't do that. I don't lie in the thumbnail. This is a little clickbait again because my mouth's open. This is also a sponsored video, so I kind of had to like do whatever I could to get people to click on it. This is just a great thumbnail. This was just a good thumbnail. Again, that's all composition, baby. I also made all Will's thumbnails back in the day. You know, one of my most clickbait thumbnails might have been one of his thumbnails. I got kind of wacky with his. Do you want to do more modding content in the future? Do you enjoy making those types of videos? They're very hard. I do want to do that, but they require a lot of time that I don't have. So it's a little frustrating because like I would have liked to have spent another like week on this, but because of, and it also is really frustrating to have to shoot a video while you're tinkering with something. Cause you know, I'm like moving the camera to get the perfect angle of me soldering something. I have like 100 gigabytes of me just trying to put the case on the thing. So yeah, it is kind of frustrating to have to shoot and do the mod at the same and figure out the mod at the same time. But I had to get the video out quick because the thing just came out and I wanted to do it as quickly as possible so this thing's still relevant. So that's also another frustrating thing. So yes, I do want to do more modding stuff, but it takes a lot of time. And unfortunately, the way YouTube works, a lot of times when you spend a lot of time on a video, it doesn't get a lot of views. Oh, it's almost time for me to go. Thank you for being here with me. If you came from my stream, thanks for sticking out while I gushed about YouTube stuff. I stream on Twitch all the time, usually at night, usually go off on tangents on my own Twitch. So if you are here from the Adorama streams, I'm over on twitch.tv/wolfden. You can continue to ask me stupid questions all the time. And if you tweet at me at Bob Wulff, I will answer the tweet. I don't usually go through DMs, but I usually answer public tweets. So if you ever have any questions about things, unless the question is like, should I buy the new Animal Crossing DLC? I'm not going to answer that. There's plenty of YouTube videos. I don't know your life. I don't know if you're like gonna choose between the Animal Crossing DLC and lunch for the day. So I can't answer that for you. But anyway, I'm around if you got any more questions. I like to talk about this sort of stuff. And I'll probably be on here again eventually. But thanks for having me, guys. This was fun for me. I hope it was fun for you. And thank you for having me, everybody. I will see you later, and I'll see you on my own Twitch, too. Goodbye.